Hello, it's Patrick here from the GarageBandGuide.com. It was the #1 synth app on iOS for years before being converted into one of the very best features in GarageBand for iOS and Logic Pro 10. So why, oh why, do GarageBand for Mac users not have full access to the Alchemy Synth? While a disappointing shortcoming of Apple's desktop DAW, you can still squeeze a surprising amount of sweet synthy goodness from what Alchemy features we do have. In this video, I'll show you how you can make the most of GarageBand for Mac's stripped down version of Alchemy. To access the Alchemy patches available in GarageBand for Mac, you'll need to be working with a software instrument track. And it's bad news from the very start here, as there is no Alchemy instrument as such that you can select. Whereas with other software instrument sounds, like say the acoustic guitar here, where you load up the instrument sound and then can adjust your various settings and whatnot in smart controls, there is no option to directly select the Alchemy Synth from GarageBand's library pane. Instead, you'll need to cycle through the available synth presets, with your smart controls window open, mind you, until this set of controls pops up. Now, with the transform pad and the controls on the next tab, you can only affect the sound of the synth preset selected. There isn't a way to create your own sounds from scratch here. Having said that, the level of control you do have over these synth sounds is excellent. For example, if I select this preset, here's what the default sound sounds like. I can click on any of these 8 named boxes, Apple calls them snapshots, inside the transform pad to drastically change the preset's sound. It's almost like presets inside of presets here, presetception, if you will. What's more, if I click and drag on the cursor, I can blend several of these snapshot sounds together for even more sonic options. You also have a couple of knobs to the right of the transform pad. The function of these knobs will change depending on what patch you have selected though. So in this detuned Ghost bass patch, I have distortion and reverb controls, whereas in the 80s sync lead patch, I can control the delay and delay time. The controls tab is where things get really interesting. You have 6 control knobs on the left here, 2 X/Y pads in the middle, and 4 more knobs on the right. Just like the previous 2 controls, everything here is patch specific. The 80s sync lead has the controls you see here, while the bright punchy synth patch has this selection of controls. You also have access to GarageBand's brilliant channel EQ here as well. Using these controls is how you can really fine-tune the patch and snapshot you've selected, and the sheer breadth of variations available from even one single patch is quite astonishing. Once you've settled on a sound that you really like, the last step here is to save it as a custom patch. Head over to the Save button in the bottom of GarageBand's library pane, click it, then name your new patch. Hit save and you'll now be able to access your custom Alchemy patch from the User Patches menu in the library pane whenever you want. So there you have it, that's how to get the most from GarageBand for Mac's version of Alchemy. If you're just getting started with GarageBand for Mac or just want a refresh on the basics, you can download my quick start guide absolutely free. I'll put a link to that in the description below. How do you think GarageBand's stripped back version of Alchemy compares to some of the more robust third-party synths out there? I'd love for you to leave a comment below and let me know. I've been Patrick from the GarageBandGuide.com, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.